Hello, everybody, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for July 29th, 2025. It's Season 4, Episode 210. I'm MayorWatt. I run ohmTown.com. The Sentient AI from the future is not available today, and we're going to go over these 10 articles. Futurehome goes subscription and bankrupt. Demonetized in 7 seconds. 11 Star Wars movie marathon. Guess my age, YouTube. 200,000 rare oysters in a shipwreck. Sounds like the beginnings of a joke. Live your Mad Max dreams in this game. The Nürburgring to dismantle roller coaster. Call of Duty finally admits it. LG's new TV is cool and expensive and pushing us all to the edge, and it sucks. All right. Like I said, I am MayorWatt. I run ohmTown.com. Go over there and become a citizen. It's all news, no noise. Everything that gets submitted over to ohmTown is aggregated, actually, from various sources. We're going to be doing a major update between now and the end of the year to the site, impacting performance, possibly impacting layout, functionality, things like that, and adding other additional sources. We typically do take things online and offline, but anyway, more changes coming to, or better performance increases are coming to ohmTown.com. Anyway, go over there, become a citizen, and download the podcast. Watch us over on YouTube long term. Always join us here on Twitch and YouTube because we stream to both places. And it would be great to see you in chat. If you want today's show notes over in Twitch chat, you can hit !NSN, and Ohmtron will spit the articles out in the order that we go over them. But over on YouTube, they're already embedded in the show notes of the episode. And everything gets turned into a podcast. I don't like to edit, so all of this rambling is going to be embedded in the beginning of the podcast as well. Hey, I don't like editing. I like everything being as transparent as possible, and even my flubs and my beeps and whistles are all part of the thing. All right, let's get into the show. First article is over in the Wanted channel. Bankrupt Futurehome suddenly makes its smart home hub a subscription service. Smart home device maker Futurehome is forcing its customers' hands by suddenly requiring a subscription for basic functionality of its products. Launched in 2016, Futurehome's Smart Hub is marketed as a central hub for controlling internet-connected devices in smart homes. And for years, the Norwegian company sold its products, which also include smart thermostats, smart lighting, and smart fire and carbon monoxide alarms, for a one-time fee that included access to its companion app and cloud platform for control and automation. As of June 26th, though, these core requirements require a $117 annual subscription fee. Kiss my shiny metal ass. I wonder, did I go past the 7-second rule? Sharon Harding over at arstechnica.com put the article together. The connected devices will now only work manually without a subscription. So you lose access to controlling devices, configuring automations, modes, shortcuts, and energy services, says the company FAQ page. Well, that shit should be illegal entirely. You also can't get support from Futurehome without a subscription. Most paid features are inaccessible without a subscription too, and they change the rules after they've embedded everything. It's kind of like ATMs starting to charge a fee out of the blue, even though everything was free to begin with. But you know what? They never said it was going to stay free, so, it's on you. After June 26th, customers had 4 weeks to continue using the services as normal without a subscription, and that grace period recently ended, and now users need to subscribe. So, yeah. According to Futurehome, subscription-less customers can still create, delete, and switch between households, edit household users and owners, and update and factory reset their Futurehome smart hubs. Ars Technica contacted Futurehome about its response to customer backlash, but didn't get a response before publication. So they went bankrupt. So Futurehome AS was declared bankrupt on May, morally or just financially? bankrupt on May 20th, 2025. The platform and related services were purchased from the bankruptcy estate, 50% by former Futurehome owners and 50% by Cycom Connect, and are now operated by FHSD Connect AF. To secure stable operation, fund product development, and provide high quality support, we are introducing a subscription model. Yeah, on a captured market. That should be grandfathered in. Go and get new customers based on, oh, if you hear that, that's a printer, that 3D printer that's spinning up a print. Sorry, it's in my studio or it's in the mayoral mansion's studio because I'm working on a 3D printing show. Anyway, the indebted company promised customers that the subscription fee would allow it to provide customers better functionality, more security, higher value in the solution that you already invested in. So screw you. Pay us. The next article is over on the WarCrafters channel. YouTube will no longer demonetize videos with strong profanity in the first 7 seconds, but you'll still need to choose your effing carefully. Back in 2022, YouTube introduced new rules for creators on its platform that demonetized videos containing strong profanity in the first 7 seconds. The results were not great. Unclear policies and uneven enforcement left more than a few YouTubers in arms over the potential threat to their livelihoods. Several months later, they eased up a bit, saying videos containing moderate profanity would be eligible for full monetization, while those using stronger profanity in the first 7 seconds or repeated throughout the majority of the video would be eligible to run limited ads. Well, I'd really like them to stop calling my shit election advertising or promotion or whatever. You know what? Hold on. I'll tell you exactly what they call it, and it's dumb. Election advertising in the United States. No, I don't do any election advertising. None. Not a single bit, beep, fart, or whistle. YouTube/Google. In no way do I promote anything political. I talk about science, technology, and society, and that's it. If society is political, you got a bigger problem with your policy because it's an untenable position. Untenable. Where is there society without politics, I guess? Is that the claim? Because all I do is talk about society. Anyway, I'm so tired of it. Well, the article is over at pcgamer.com. Andy Chalk put the article together. And the deck statement says it's not a complete free-for-all, but the updated policy should make it easier for YouTubers to avoid accidentally breaking the rules. By the way, they tell you that if you try to promote your video and they deem it as being election, in one case there's shocking content, but I'm not sure what it is because they don't timestamp anything in the statement where and when and what is the offense. It just says disapproved and then labels it as something like, if there's shocking content, the only thing that's shocking about it is that somebody was ignorant of it and they were enlightened as to what the hell the problem was. Anyway, several months later, YouTube eased up on these rules. Now it's finally quit horsing around. As of today, F-bombs and all the other good words will no longer result in demonetization. It looks like a demonetization, if you pronounce it incorrectly, but anyway, demonetization, even if they're dropped within the first 7 seconds. So what kinds of profanity are we talking about here exactly? Moderate profanity is words like asshole or bitch, Connor says. Strong profanity includes words like fuck. I don't think we need to use more examples, but you get the idea. I do get the idea, but I'd still like more fun to have more. It would be more fun to have more examples cited. So you can pick and choose your fucks carefully, says Connor. warning that a high frequency of strong profanity will still violate YouTube's advertiser-friendly guidelines. Monetization will also be limited for videos that use either moderate or strong profanity in titles. Well, I'm not monetized. It would be nice to be, but hey, just not meeting those metrics, I guess. I don't know. I do know. Let's move on. The next article is over in Technology Today. It's one of our 7 shows. It is on Sundays, right after WarCrafters and before FourWheelTech. All right. Well, Marathon Star Wars Celebration in Seattle will feature 11 films back-to-back on the big screen at SIFF Cinema. The Star Wars droid R2-D2 on display at the SIFF Cinema downtown lobby is a picture you'll see when we switch over to the source of this. Lightsabers, camera, action. The Star Wars Cinematic Universe is returning to Seattle in a big way on the big screen in September with a 2-week celebration of the entire film franchise at SIFF Cinema downtown. A marathon screening will feature 11 titles from the original 1977 classic A New Hope to the standalone Star Wars stories Rogue One and Solo. The first weekend, starting September 5th, will show the films in chronological order from Anakin's pod racing days to Rey's whatever taking over. Anyway, the article is by Kurt Schlosser over at geekwire.com. I would love to have a 3D printed R2-D2 make all the beeps and whistles. Actually, I really like the new Disney bipedal droids that walk around, and they're just adorable. Anyway, well, there's more over at this article. I'm not even going to continue. It's kind of, that's all there is to it. I will say, tickets are on sale now for the Star Wars Ultimate Cinematic Marathon and priced at $22 per film, $19 for SIFF members, $21 for seniors, students, and $17 for a child. Oh, that's interesting. I guess they do it twice or something like that. Oh, a bunch of times. It's all starting on the 5th and going until the 18th. They kind of rotate the movies. Let's keep going. The next article is over on the Wanted channel. YouTube will start guessing your age. The internet's age gating era is on its way. AJ Dillinger over at gizmodo.com put the article together. YouTube will no longer take your word for it when you enter your birthday. On Tuesday, the platform announced that it will be rolling out new age estimation tools that will attempt to verify a person's age based on a variety of indicators as part of an attempt to keep younger users from accessing more adult content and deliver age-appropriate product experiences and protections. Parents be damned. According to YouTube, the age inference system, which will be used on a small set of users, is small, indicative that children, in the coming weeks before going wider later this year, uses machine learning to process different pieces of information about a user to determine their age. Those signals include types of videos the user searches for, the categories of videos they watch. Well, I'm pretty much a child, so I don't quite understand this. Those signals include, again, types of videos the user searches for, the categories of videos they watch, and how long their account has been active. Yeah, I'm older than the internet. The goal of the system is to spot teenage users and direct them to more age-appropriate experience, but who the frick is the one that's responsible for that but parents? Not YouTube. Not Google, not advertisers. It should be up to the parents and the child. So this isn't good for you. Watch this. Right. So what does it mean exactly if a user is believed to be under 18? YouTube will disable personalized advertising, turn on digital well-being tools like reminders to take a break, and throw up some content guardrails to prevent a kid from repetitive views of certain types of content. Hopefully, and they say in this article, hopefully that means it won't drop these teens and their developing brains directly into, well, let's just say cultural, ideologically bent content. Yeah. YouTube's age inference system comes as the internet appears to be entering its age gating era. Earlier this month, the United Kingdom's regulations requiring sites that contain adult content verify the age of the users. So basically what's coming, and this is something that I've been telling people for 12 years, the internet is going to basically go the way of China's firewall, which has social pressure put on people because it's a social credit score that you get based on what you do and how you act online. So we're moving towards this more regulated way. But, we went from people voicing an opinion about wanting to keep the government out of personal decisions to using the government to impose their ideological bent on others. Yeah, quite fascinating. YouTube clearly sees the writing on the wall. Age verification isn't going away. Papers, please, is what the article says over at Gizmodo. The next article is over in the Mobile Channel. Scientists deposit 200,000 rare oysters in a shipwreck 100 feet below the surface of the North Sea. European flat oysters are nearly gone from the region. Now researchers are developing them back by depositing the oyster larvae on gravel beds off the coast of Belgium. The article is over at Smithsonian Magazine, smithsonianmag.com. Sarah Kuda put the article together. And yeah, so now scientists have come up with an innovative plan to help the mollusks rebound and restore vital marine ecosystems in the process. In early July, researchers deposited 200,000 European flat oyster, Ostrea edulis, larvae into the hull of a shipwreck off the coast of Belgium, reports Agence France Presse. Only 30,000 of the 200,000 larvae are expected to survive the first year. However, the project's organizers are hopeful that those oysters will start reproducing to create a self-sustaining reef. Their ambition is to create a long-term nature restoration without further human intervention, says Vicky Strategaki, an engineer and the Bell Reef's project coordinator at, Jan de Nul Group, a construction and offshore energy company based in Belgium. And somebody who, I don't know. I don't know if they really love oysters. But exotic oysters that are almost extinct. Yes, please. Please don't buy that as a real statement from me. Prior to the 1850s, flat oysters and their reefs were common throughout European waters, but the creatures began to disappear in the late 19th century because of overfishing and other activities that disrupted the seafloor. Their demise was later hastened by a parasite called Bonamia austria, which is thought to have been imported from California around 1979. The lethal invader killed off nearly all of the remaining flat oysters in France, the Netherlands, and Belgium. And that's why I don't trust Californians. Moving on. Next article is over in WarCrafters. I'm a haunted Mad Max muscle car with 2 shotgun turrets in this early access vehicle combat game, and it's just as rad as it sounds. The article is over at PC Gamer. Fumes understands me. In the early access car combat game's post-apocalyptic wasteland, there are no drivers. There are only cars and weapons strapped to cars, and fast, chaotic, pixelated machine violence that occurs when they drive at each other at high speeds. Fumes. Frankly, somebody should have let me do this sooner, is the deck statement by Lincoln Carpenter over at PCGamer.com. I played this when it was really, really early. All you do is drive around and shoot everything over and over and over and over again. I guess it's kind of a roguelite. I don't know. I don't remember if it's multiplayer at all. Hold on. We'll do it live. We can do it live. I'm not sure when. Hello, Steen? Steen? Where are you, Steen? Oh, there you are. Hold on. We're going to do it live. Fumes. So it's $13.49. It's already on my wish list. There is a demo of it. It's single player. Yeah, okay. So all you do is drive around. And I would consider this probably an incremental roguelite kind of a thing, because you just kind of keep boosting up your car more and more and more and more. Well, anyway, Fumes at its heart are three things: loose, bouncy suspension, car-mounted turrets with infinite ammo, and crunchy PS1 graphics. And if that's not enough, even though it should be, it's got randomized loot. It's got unlockable, scalable decals for car customization. You can export and share your designs with other players, and has a surprisingly capable photo mode. It yells fumes at you when it exits the game. It rules. Speaking of driving like crazy, over in FourWheelTech is an article titled "The Nürburgring to Dismantle Roller Coaster Finally Ending a 16-Year Boondoggle." The Nürburgring is now dismantling Ring Racer, the problem-plagued roller coaster that was initially built to be the fastest in the world. It's going away. Ryan Eric King over at jalopnik.com put the article together. The problem-plagued roller coaster that was initially built to be the fastest in the world is part of an ambitious 2009 expansion to draw tourists to the track year-round, which led to the track's bankruptcy just a few years later. Ring Racer was a $15 million Formula One themed coaster or toaster that got thrown into a bathtub. So aptly, the ride's track would zigzag as it rolled off like a F1 warming its tires on a formation lap. The coaster would then stop at a launch point parallel to the start-finish straight. The pneumatic system was designed to blast the coaster to 100 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. However, the system would accelerate the ride's demise. In 2009, the system exploded during a test, injuring 7 people and blowing out the windows of nearby buildings. And that's pretty much what sums up this article. There's always more over at the articles we link to, so go and check it out. And again, you can get the show notes either embedded over in YouTube's show description, or by typing in !NSN on a given day. Those show notes are for the last episode that was aired. So right now it'll be for the 29th. So this next article is over in WarCrafters. That's the first show on Sundays. Call of Duty finally admits what we've been saying all along: the install size is too damn high. In theory, an all-in-one launcher to manage a massive franchise like Call of Duty probably makes sense. When you have multiple campaigns, multiple modes, regular updates to live service games like Warzone to secure or to manage, sure, you could convince them that it's a one-stop shop is needed. But Claire Jackson over at Kotaku.com put this article together. Modern Warfare 2 and 3 are being removed from the launcher to save us all some precious gigs. Yeah, eventually, I mean, you kind of have to step back from having everything installed unless you add more space. It's not an infinite bounty here. After trying to convince us that the 200 to 300 gigabyte install was necessary to get in a few rounds of Call of Duty with friends, Activision is now letting us access older games without its bloated mess of a launcher. Hey, Demon Hunt is now available for early access. Anyway, as announced today on the Call of Duty Updates Twitter account, 2022's kind of boring Modern Warfare 2 and 2023's very boring Modern Warfare 3 are getting spun off to their own so that you can download them a la carte and avoid the, it says D-Rex. Is that D? I don't understand that. Maybe that's an inside joke to Call of Duty. Anyway, what should happen is you should be able to install from the loader. Why not? Install and uninstall. I mean, that's how World of Warcraft has theirs, right? Blizzard has their loader where you can install and uninstall with ease from their loader. So they say the post also states that legacy content related to 2022 and 2023's Modern Warfare modes within the Call of Duty install will be automatically removed on August 7th to free up storage space. That's a bit confusing to you. Well, you're not alone. They too are not quite sure what this whatever content is. Old content? Legacy. It's truncated in their quote. Or what exactly the implications of its removal might be. Hopefully they're not talking about killing DMZ or the third-person multiplayer modes from Modern Warfare 2. It'd be a very sad creature if that were so. All right. Well, there's more article over there. Claire Jackson put the article together over at Kotaku.com. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News. That's the name of the show. LG Stand By Me Stan STANBYME2 is an unquestionably cool TV at a questionably high price. LG Stand By Me has all the ingredients of a good follow-up gadget. The 27-inch display is 1440 instead of 1080. And instead of being trapped on its rollable stand, the screen is detachable for you to use wherever and however you want. You can hang it on a wall if you buy a compatible strap, or you can rest it on its included folio cover, much like you would a tablet. It also has more ports beyond the one HDMI port. But this is what it is. Cameron Faulkner over at TheVerge.com. It's a telepresence kind of a thing, I think. Stand By Me, better screen resolution. Okay, you get USB-C for connecting to laptops. Has one HDMI port and one USB-A port in the original model. It's wireless. You can recharge it with a power bank so long as it can provide at least 65 watts charging speeds. They say, we knew earlier this month that the Stand By Me 2 would be coming soon, but LG waited until it was available to share what it costs, $1,300. That's $300 more than its predecessor at launch. Just as the original Stand By Me, they have to take a moment to resist the urge to call this a terrible value, since OLED TVs and brilliant monitors are readily available under $1,000. Yeah, I don't know what the purpose of this really is. Spec-wise, the deck statement from Cameron Faulkner says, spec-wise, this is an incremental improvement, but its versatility makes it seem like an entirely new product. It's a wireless, cordless monitor. Let's keep going. The last article for today, for July 29th, 2025, is over in Non Sequitur News as well. Opera is filing a complaint over Microsoft's tricks that push you to use Edge. Yeah, why not leave that password shit alone? And Microsoft has used a variety of tricks to convince people to keep using the defaults of Bing and Microsoft Edge in Windows over the years, including modifying Chrome download sites and using malware like pop-ups. Now, Opera is fed up with it and calls Microsoft's manipulative design tactics and is filing a competition complaint in Brazil today, alleging that Microsoft is using anti-competitive practices to steer people towards Edge. Microsoft thwarts browser competition on Windows at every turn. First, browsers like Opera are locked out of important pre-installation opportunities, and then Microsoft frustrates users' ability to download a competitor. Tom Warren over at TheVerge.com is writing about this. The deck statement says Opera has filed an anti-competition complaint in Brazil and says Microsoft is using manipulative design tactics. Yeah, so Opera's complaint alleges that Microsoft ignores a user's default browser choice in a variety of ways, from opening PDF files or links in Outlook and Teams to opening links through Windows features like search or widgets. Opera also notes that Microsoft uses obtrusive banners and messages, discouraging users from downloading alternative browsers at the very moment they are searching for those browsers on Edge. Yep. So they're getting rid of the password manager, the authenticator, tomorrow. So today is the 30th. I'm in the time machine doing the 29th episode. And tomorrow is the last day that the password manager, the authenticator, is going to work. It's all being pushed over to Edge. So you'll have to use Edge. Passphrases is the new thing. But they say here in this article, we believe that Microsoft's conduct, including the changes that it has announced in Europe, are insufficient to attain effective compliance with the DMA. In this context, as part of its global efforts to ensure free and effective consumer choice, Opera has appealed before the EU courts of the European Commission decision not to designate Edge as a gatekeeper service under the DMA. But that's not, it isn't even about the password issue, the password manager issue. This is simply about browsers, Microsoft continuing to push out any competition. So at any rate, that is it for Non Sequitur News for July 29th, 2025. I am going to file a complaint that we haven't been brought back to the front page of ohmTown.com. Look at that. Go over there, sign up, sign in. I don't track anything. It actually looks more like this. There's 6 icons across the top. Each one of those represents a category of information context. So in those are a combined total of 50 channels. We're slowly ramping up. By the end of the year, we'll have 55, and 8 shows will have launched. We've got 7 right now. Actually, 8 weekly shows will have launched, and 1 daily show, which is Non Sequitur News, this show. At any rate, we'll follow up and we'll keep everybody informed as we continue to grow the network. If you're interested in hosting or co-hosting, doing a weekly show, or even a daily show, get in touch with the mayor. Send an email to mayor@ohmtown.com, and we'll figure out what and how and where and when to best suit you as a host or co-host. So let's get in touch. All right, that's it. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.